put things right if they were out of place. I let inspectors see how people lived. And they found things, and I considered that a help, because they would say, oh, look, you got that, because a lot of things going on, I don't see everything.
So
This was,
who filled out the original application with the city to let the city know that this property was indeed going to be commercial rental property? Did you fill it out, or did your son fill it out?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't do it.
No.
So have you had an explanation of how you started receiving the letters, even though you're on the deed rather
Yeah.
than the property owner?
Yeah, because
He's
I
listed
know.
as the owner for the county. If the county has Mike Stolzer and his address as the owner, that we should send letters.
Well,
So can I ask a quick procedural question? How is someone else able to,
Property use form.
so even though he's not listed as the property owner, he can list it?
So Mike,
As a rental property?
we sent a certified letter after we sent repeated emails to Mike and his son and his daughter-in-law or whoever. We have email threads
Right,
where we correspond.
a couple of emails.
Yep, saying, hey, you need to do something, we haven't heard from you.
Okay.
You need to contact us. Then we sent a certified letter to the address that the county had as the owner on file.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying the code office did anything wrong. They
So-
followed the law.
so,
I
sorry.
think there's a problem with the law.
I just have a quick question before we get past it. So, Mr. E. Stolzer was able to come in and put in a property use form that allowed the property to become a rental property.
It had been a rental property entirely prior to that.
Okay, so I guess my question is like, did Mr. M. Stolzer have to be notified that the property that someone had filed on his behalf to use the property in some way?
Not as I recall, no.
I mean, I just don't know. Like, my question is this. My husband and I both own our property. If I come in and file a property use form, does my husband have to know? Or could I just list our house as a rental property?
I mean, you can fill out that form, then we would send you a certified letter that said you have X amount of time to fill out the inspections, and then you would call us and say, whoa, my house isn't a rental, and we'd say, okay, we take it off the rental register.
Okay, so that's
So what you're-
so that's sort of where we are? Like, he came in and filled out the things and then the inspections, the certified letters. Wait, so Eric came in, filled out the applications, or the rental use form, property use form, and then the certified letter was sent,
Years later,
okay,
this property was listed as a rental for years, not in compliance.
okay.
Right.
But the certified letter wasn't to say,
The
you need
certified
these.
letter was to say, you don't have your inspections done, you're out of compliance, you have 60 days to do them.
But do they get a letter, like, right away that says you need these inspections in order to run as a rental property?
But what is right away? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, years seems like not right away.
Right, we're
So
just
that's
now
a
finding
question.
it out that years went by. So we filed, right? We filed the paperwork, and then we didn't comply with annual inspections.
I'm not sure what was filed when, because I didn't do any of it, as far as I recall. It's a while back that he first lived there.
But did you respond to any of the emails that you received from the city?
Anytime, I walk in and talk to people.
And did your son ever respond?
Probably not. I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to guess that he did not.
Did he understand that he had to have inspections done, like electrical and plumbing?
I'm
and-
not sure.
So that's one of
Fire.
the things that I would like to try to figure out is like potentially when someone lists themselves as a local agent or something like that, that there's some sort of like training on our behalf of like what needs to go into it. Because I think that then we sort of grow like responsible
Well,
rental property owners.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's what.
Because I
I-
think that some of it is just not
I just
knowing.
went through this last year, so
You did?
I purchased a property, tenant stayed there for a while, and then he moved out because he was the property owner and sold it to me. So I can tell you that at the code office, they did explain to me that I was gonna be required to have
Uh-huh.
an electrical inspection, a plumbing inspection,
Okay.
an annual inspection, where they look for the smoke detectors and the fire exits and all that is that is all gonna happen.
Okay.
So when you go into this, I would say for me, I know that there's expectations annually.
Okay. I mean, I guess, so I don't own a rental property.
Well, that's
So for
current.
me, like, I'm just thinking about
Currently.
not.
That I don't think was the case back, that might be something Steve's been doing, but I'm pretty sure, Steve was not.
Before that.
Yeah,
Like, I know
So
that
That's
there.
why I asked, when did this start?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
trying to understand the timeline
Okay,
of
yeah.
when all of this started.
Eric's owned other rental.
well, I can put together, sorry,
Eric has other rental properties though.
In the city?
not in the city.
Didn't he have one on like Reynolds or something? I thought, I mean, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought that he already had other rental properties.
No,
Was it
he's on the deed on one house that I own.
Okay,
Um,
maybe that's what I.
Yeah, but, no, that's all, but nobody's ever had any complaints about that house. I manage it, I take care of everything, and there's no problem.
So
I've never had
for,
any problems. My approach has always been, it's always been, I have to say, it always felt like a community.
Right.
I felt like I was working together.
but you were having face-to-face conversations, you were having face-to-face conversations.
Face-to-face conversations, it was, or a phone call, or something that, there was a cooperative.
Have you been able to get your name off the property with the county?
I'm not taking my name off in case I need to have standing. I'm leaving it on there until this gets resolved, and then I'm going off of it forever.
Right.
You know,
But does the code office know that not you, but your son owns the property?
yes, well, that's what as soon as I got those first notices, I went into the code office. I had this conversation with John once before, because there was an issue about garbage. And we don't know how to contact them, we thought he lived, and I explained that I gave him, Robbie was, Keisha was, managing the place, and at that point, I'm pretty sure I gave him Keisha's phone number, because I didn't have her email. And then but that was prior to this. Then when I went in on, when I got those notices, that's big, and when I see that, I'm not sitting around thinking about things. I went straight down, to the code office and talked to John about it, and explained to him that this all has to go. This is where they live, this is not me.
So does your son live there now?
No,
No. And so, I'm gonna ask again, is the property in compliance,
yes,
and how long has it been in compliance?
since the time of the hearings, the appeal.
So, this year?
Yeah, approximately like September, October.
Okay, so just a few months ago. But was it in compliance last year or the year before? Because I'm gonna assume to get to 10 grand, it didn't happen this year. I don't.
Oh, no, it happened all in 1 year.
$10,000 happened in 1 year?
Yeah.
$10,000
Yeah,
happened in 1 year?
so here's another issue, because there's a two-family house, and there's a garage, a detached garage, seems to be the big issue, with a one-bedroom apartment above it, which is where my son used to live. Now it's considered a,
ADU?
I don't know what it's considered, but now what I thought should have been $5,000, it's $10,000, because it's doubled for each structure.
He has two houses on one lot that are both rental.
And one's a garage with
So he
an
has an
apartment over it.
ADU plus the primary?
It's not like it's a
It's not an
condo.
ADU.
It's not an
It's
ADU.
a separate, it's not an ADU.
Oh.
His garage was converted into a rental unit before we had ADUs.
Okay, so he has 2 primaries on this parcel?
Yep. He has
Okay.
2 residences,
And
one's a
both-
two-family, one's a single family.
And so when this all started, the codes office sent a letter out that both structures were not in compliance, had not been in compliance for years.
We emailed Mike, we emailed Eric, we emailed everyone we had, we begged them, pleaded them to come
And how long did that time period go?
That's a little bit of an example.
Mike, just a second,
I don't know, I mean,
let me just,
there's
form
multiple-
letters.
there's
I don't wanna go
multiple-
back and forth
Right.
between you, all right? So I'll look at you and
Sorry.
I'll look at you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do anything, I'm
No.
saying,